This is everything you need to know about navigating around your workspace within Shade. And there's a specific key towards the end of this video that is really gonna open up your Shade workspace. Like, it's gonna make it a whole new world. But first, I gotta give you the logistics of exactly where everything is so that you can just have a base understanding of how to get around your workspace. So let's get into it. Starting off right here on the left, we have AI search. Now, this is exactly what it sounds like. You click AI search, you can search in quotation marks for transcription search, you can just use natural language, or you can search based on the specific name of the file or folder that you have. One quick note, it is based on drive, so you can change the drives that you're searching up here. Now, the next thing is notifications. And as you can see here, all the notifications within your workspace will show up in the notifications tab. You can mark them all as read. Then we obviously have our settings. There's a lot we could go into there, but that's for a different video. But that's where you'll find your settings. We have the ability to mount drives. So there is an option to mount drives within each drive. But if you want to, access all your drives and see how you can mount all of them, you can do that here, and you can just click this and it'll mount for you. Bingo, there it is. And then it'll show that it's mounted. And here you can also create new drives. So that's important to keep in mind as well. Now, within each drive, you're gonna have a myriad of different options. You've got a drive directory, which will simply show you the entire folder structure of that drive. You have multiple different views. So these are predetermined saved views that you've saved within that drive. And so you can access those here, and those have anything from approval status to edit tracking to the type of image that it is, and all these things can be customized. And if you want to do that, you could just hit plus and then name the view and clarify what specific settings you want for that view. Next, we're going to have collections related to that drive, and collections are just simply a custom landing page for your client to be able to access, and you can give them specific permissions over here. So you also have pinned items. Now, pinned items will show up when you pin any asset to your cache. And if you want to see all the items you have pinned to your cache at any given time within a specific drive, you can click pinned items. When it comes to people, this is in regards to facial recognition, and this particular drive does not have any facial recognition going on inside of it. None of it's been enabled, but you can totally access facial recognition there. In fact, yeah, this drive does have a lot of facial recognition here. So within the sports media drive, you can see we've got a ton of different faces of all these different players and coaches we have. Additionally, and something that's relatively new, are duplicates. So if there's any duplicate uploaded to your drive, then it's going to show up here, and it's going to show you how many versions of that asset you actually have. And lucky for us, we don't have any duplicates in any of these drives, but if you did have any, that's where they show up. And then you lastly have the trash. So anything that's been, thrown in the trash within a specific drive will exist here. And this same kind of layout exists for all of your drives. So when your drives are kind of decompressed like this, then you'll see all those options pull up. And lastly, within each drive, you also have this little dot menu here, which will allow you to mount and open drives and view folder templates, or even duplicate the drives. Now, folder templates are simply a way for you to be able to duplicate an existing folder structure without having to save your template folder structure somewhere in your drive. So if you have a folder structure that you already like, you can simply click on that or right click a folder, hit save as template, and then it will show up in your folder templates here. And here is where you could edit it or delete it. If you want to create a folder with that given template, then you right click, create new folder, and then create it with that template. Simple as that. Now, moving right along down here, we're going to have your availability for storage, just tracking how much storage you're using, how much you have available. Very simple. We have the amount of assets that have been AI indexed. Again, very simple, but important to keep track of. And then we also have your upload status. So if you have anything actively uploading, then it's going to be displayed right here in this tab. I currently have about a terabyte uploading on a different drive. And so if I wanted to go check the status of that, it would be right here in this tab. Up here in the right corner, we have different views. So here you can select views out of the saved views I mentioned. So we also have the ability to save as new view. So if the view that you currently have is something that you just like, then you can save it as a view. You can also download assets here. So if I want to download this folder, I just click download. It'll download the assets and the whole folder that I'm currently in. As you can see, that's happening right now at an alarming rate. And I don't need these files, so I'm going to cancel the download. But that's how you would download files. Here, you're able to export in any of these formats, export the files, that is. And then here, you're able to change elements of your view. So you can look at the grid view, the list view, the tile view, which is my personal favorite, and the column view. And then you're going to be able to turn on and off different metadata assets, change the thumbnails to fit or fill, or even flatten or unflatten directories, which essentially just takes everything out of the folders or leaves everything in the folders. So we also have searching within that exact folder. This is just going to limit your search to the folder that you're in, whereas AI search will search the entire drive that you have selected. If you're keeping up with me, then leave something in the comments because we're moving quick today. Next, we've got an upload file. So you can click this and it's going to allow you to upload a file or a folder. This is going to be the exact same as any other app. We also have our search history here, and then we can toggle on and off to be able to see all of the details about an asset when we click on it. That little sidebar here. So that's all the basic stuff, but we have this little thing right here, and it might have gone unnoticed to you, but it's a relatively new feature and I actually love it. It reminds me of Spotlight search within Mac, but it's like way better than that. There's so many more levels to it. So you can do things within this that will, very simply, you could do AI search within this. So if you're already using what we call the command palette, then you can AI search within that. But you can also execute quick actions. For instance, if I had a ton of drives here and I don't, want to just toggle through and figure out which one, I have so many, I could literally just search like switch theme. I could literally just type switch drive, hit enter, and then I'll select a drive. I could make setting changes like switch theme, and I'll go to light mode. Genuinely, this is my first time ever viewing shade in light mode. This is crazy. We're gonna need to go back to the command palette, hit switch theme, go back to dark mode. Oh, that's a lot better. Look, I know my environment's very bright and everything, but I pretty much use all my software in dark mode. I don't know what it is. But the command palette has a ton of features like that. You can switch workspaces. Literally, you could hit go to drive home, go to search, go to shared with me, go to shared links, go to settings, all of these different things. If you're just like, your mind can't think about like where you need to go, so instead you just type out where you need to go, that's what the command palette's for. Additionally, you can still AI search. So you could search person hiking, and then it's going to pull up all the images you have of someone hiking. But for instance, if I wanted to go to the command palette and search football, I'm not going to get any results because I'm in this commercial photography thing. So I'm actually going to go to sports media, hit enter here, search that, and now it's going to pull up all of my football clips within that specific drive. So you can see how this can be super helpful. If you're in one drive, but you need to search in a different drive, you don't want to have to navigate to that drive and then search there. You can just do it in the command palette, or you can do it with an AI search. The goal is like for Shade to be able to work with whatever style of work you like to do best. You can create new drives. You can do actions like just check for updates, open keyboard shortcuts, change your view, clear your history, like whatever element you need to do within the Shade workspace. There's a ton of it available just through the command palette. So I love this. Like if I need to go to my members and make changes to my members, I just type in members and then I can go to settings and members. I don't have access in this thing, but you get the idea. So the command palette is really the key to navigating around your Shade workspace in the quickest way possible. Obviously, all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the video still apply, but if you're like me, that's a lot to keep up with. And I want my software to be as easy to use as possible. And so that's why we put the command palette in here, just to be able to free you up and say, okay, I don't know where this thing is. I'm just going to type it out. And then the command palette will allow me to navigate to that element of my workspace. But that is everything you need to know about how to navigate through your Shade workspace. Let me know in the comments if this video was helpful. And as always, thanks for watching and thanks for using Shade.